Hello and welcome to GeForce. I'm Julian, and look how lucky you guys are. We have none other than Pete Hines joining us from Bethesda. Thank you for coming out, chatting with us today on the channel.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming by.
We are here to discuss Quake Champions, which is something I'm pretty excited about. I have many fond memories of Quakes 1 through 4, but maybe for those who don't know, what's up with Quake Champions?
Quake Champions is an all-new Quake game made for the modern era, but still has that old-school feel. It is incredibly fast, it is incredibly skill-based, and doing all the things that folks like yourself loved about the original Quake games, but doing it a little bit different, where we now have introduced the idea of champions that have different abilities that sort of add to the fast-paced gunplay that they're used to.
Quake is the game that really pioneered the arena shooter and just popularized it and brought it to everybody. Are you guys trying to uphold that? Is that something on your mind?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, it needs to be a fun game that anybody can jump into and play. And so we've been spending a lot of time lately improving and enhancing not only experience for core folks, but also the new folks who are coming in who aren't used to a fast-paced arena shooter. So we've added bots and tried to make that onboarding a lot more easy and fun, so you kind of get the handle on the game before we throw you into the deep end. But for the folks who are really into it and want more, we are the original esport, and over the next year, we have more esport competitions than we ever have in our history.
So esports is a much bigger scene now than it's ever been. How has esports shaped the development of this game, Quake Champions?
I mean, we've had key members of our esports community, from Quake Live to Quake 4, Quake 3. We've had pros involved in the testing and coming up with new maps and coming up with new modes and coming up with what the champions can do. You know, that's a big part of the esports, is using those champions and figuring out which ones you're going to combine to give yourself an advantage against the opponents. And that goes from our grassroots, which we have a ton of, all the way up through big events like QuakeCon and DreamHack Winter.
Quake 4 came out a long time ago. What do you think is essential to making an arena shooter work today with the expectations and the technology that people have now?
Yeah, I mean, it's still ultimately about the thrill of that super fast-paced gameplay. This is not a game about taking cover. It's really about learning the map, learning the importance of power-ups, so that when you're in these one-on-one battles with folks, that you're getting a competitive edge through controlling those points. Whether it's deathmatch, whether it's duels, whether it's team, it's important in all of them.
People are a lot more game savvy these days, and so I understand part of the reason you guys are doing Champions is to make it have such a larger breadth of things to learn and master in this game. Tell me about the champions in your game.
They're not like they are in other games, where they really define entirely what your character can do, and really it's important when and how you use them. So if you want to play as a faster-paced character or maybe a heavier, bigger character, it's really about how do you want to play this fast-paced game, and you can sort of tweak what you can do based on the champions that you pick.
Quake and PC gaming are kind of inseparable. I mean, you guys still have LAN parties at QuakeCon every year. So is Quake still being developed as mostly a PC title?
Oh, absolutely. It is a pure PC thing. We are all about performance. You know, I said it was fast. It's 120 hertz. Like, you want a super sweet NVIDIA card to make that game scream, because it's a game where precision and speed are king.
So when can we actually jump in and start playing?
You can start playing right now. We're still in early access. We're continuing to refine and tweak the game based on player feedback, but we're always adding new modes, new characters, new onboarding, so jump in and start playing.
I can't wait. Pete, thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for tuning in here on GeForce. If you're interested in Quake Champions, check out that early access on Steam, and we've got plenty more content here from E3, including more talks with Pete Hines, so stay tuned for that here on GeForce.